Yo, what's going on YouTube? Before I talk about my mod 2, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Obviously I have a bigger bike now. Just thought I'd talk about like my story of my mod 2 and like tips and tricks that I can give for mod 2. Didn't even shift up there, but okay, so mod 2 day, basically obviously you're gonna have like a day's training. Well, mine was basically a day's training, beforehand, and hopefully when you're doing your course they'll give you some training beforehand incorporated with your mod 1. But so when I done mine, it was the weirdest story, yeah. So basically I was ready for my mod 2 and stuff, and the test center is in Enfield in London. And so basically we went to go to do the mod 2, and obviously my instructor was like going around some test routes and stuff. I mean, test routes, they help, but I mean, you know, you can't cover them all, so don't rely on that. So we went through some of the test routes, and one of them basically I got lost on. So we were coming up to some massive roundabout, and this roundabout, it had well, basically I made 2 mistakes on the roundabout, the big roundabout first to start off with. Because we were going straight ahead, the lane markings weren't very clear, so I was in the wrong lane to begin with, but luckily there was no cars behind me, so I could just quickly change. Obviously this was during my training, not during my mod 2. So yeah, I was already in the wrong lane to begin with, and that's not even the worst part. So we were going around the roundabout, and what had happened was he said follow the signs to this, so I followed the signs, because obviously during the mod 2 you get an independent ride, so he was kind of like preparing me for that. So I went through it, and basically I saw one massive sign which said M1. I know you're not supposed to go on the motorway. During your test, if you do, you fail. And obviously with my instructor, he's not going to take me on the motorway, but I was ready to exit. Imagine the exits in front of me. I was ready to exit, and I saw this big sign saying M1, I think it was, I don't know, whatever motorway is near the Enfield test center. And he was like, I'm gonna see how you handle this. A lot of students get caught out. And I was like, okay. So we went through. Did this guy just wave to me for giving him way? I don't know. So we went through the roundabout, and as I was about to exit, I just saw the exit and I just swerved. I didn't swerve, well, I kind of did, but imagine you're about to exit and you just like carry on going around, and apparently my instructor's like, you almost fucking took me out. And I was just like, really? And then this was like after we had met up, because basically the microphones only have like a certain range, and the range was very short. So I had lost him. They'd went one side of like this dual carriageway, and I went around the roundabout again and then went through the same exit, and I lost them, and I kept on going forward. And what had happened was I was looking for them and I couldn't find them, and the radio disconnected, and to top it all off, I'd lost my fucking phone. So I didn't lose my phone, I basically forgot to bring it. And obviously during the day I was like, oh, what am I gonna need a phone for anyways? So I forgot that, and I'd lost them, so I had to find my way back to the test center. And my test was about 2 o'clock, I think, and it was about 12:30, so I was getting really worried, and I was shitting myself like, fuck, I've just lost £200 or whatever it is to reset mod 2. And I was just basically feeling like shit. So I had obviously I had no phone, so I went up to random drivers. I was like, yo mate, do you know how to get to Enfield test center? There was this one guy, he was talking to me because we had a stoplight, and then he said like pull over. Well, I said pull over at the front, yeah, and I think he nodded his head. And then in the end, oh, fucking potholes, in the end he was like, I pulled up, and I was waiting for him to come, and he never even showed. He just went on. I was just like, what the fuck, you little bitch. So I went on, found another driver. This driver, man, he was like he was like one of those rude boys, London rude boys. But yeah, so I went to him and he was playing his music and stuff. So I was like, how'd you get to Enfield, Sessanil? And he was giving me directions, so I was just following him. And then he just said follow him, so I followed him, and he basically took me so close that I knew the area. Obviously I don't know the area, but I mean, from going around it the 1 or 2 times which I did, I managed to figure it out. And I figured it out, and I got back to the test center, and I saw this instructor was like, this other instructor, he was like, I went to him and said, do you know the way to the test center? Because we were near it, but I didn't know exactly where it was. So we went, I talked to him, and then my instructor like was going around this small little roundabout, and he's like, what are you doing, you donkey? And I was just like, sorry man. And then he was like, oh, you almost took me out and shit. But it was pretty cool about it anyways. Like, so to take you out, and we were talking about how there was this one girl he was telling me about, and she had done her mod 1 about 10 times. Now I don't know if this guy was chatting shit or he was being serious, but 10 times, man, that's a lot. But I don't know if she passed in the end, but it's not a matter of like failing and stuff, man, because everyone fails at some point, you know. You can't always like be expecting to pass everything. That's the same with school and all that, man. You learn, like I failed exams before, but you know, you just gotta redo it and learn from your mistakes. I mean, if you go in thinking, oh, I'm not gonna pass, I'll be lucky if I pass, then chances are you won't pass. And I was watching one video, actually, one YouTube video, and this guy was like talking about mod 2, I think, and he was like, if you can't like pass mod 1, you shouldn't be on the road. I was just like, well, how fucking negative is that? I mean, you know, it doesn't matter if you fail, doesn't mean you shouldn't be on the road. Like, what the fuck, you know? Everyone has the chance to retake and pass. So if it takes you like 3 times, whatever, man, just do it. Because look, if you're gonna do mod 1 and mod 2 and you don't like actually I'm gonna pull in somewhere here. Yeah, what was I saying? If you're gonna do mod 1 and you're gonna do mod 2, just, you have to get your license, man, because it's a lot of money, and motorbiking can be seen as a kind of pleasure, but for me, I can't afford a car, and I'm happy that I got into biking anyways, because like it's fucking so good as a hobby. Because if I wasn't biking, I'd probably be playing like video games or something, I don't know. Obviously I'm at uni and stuff, but like for real, like if you're gonna spend this much money, that's one thing with these fucking sports bikes. The turning radius is so bad on them because of these clip-ons. But anyways, if you're gonna do your mod 1 and mod 2, just go through. Don't care how many times you reset, just be focused, don't be scared and stuff, man. Like, I'm only, like, I was just giving me some weird look like, are you trying to burgle me, motherfucker? Now, in terms of what I found the hardest, okay, the hardest thing in my opinion was big roundabouts, like massive roundabouts. I don't know, I mean, I've improved a lot since then, and it depends on the day actually what you get, because I was lucky enough, like I said before, how on the day my mod 2, my instructor took me on this like big roundabout, and I basically saw the motorway and I freaked out, and he was like, well, they can tell you follow the signs to like the motorway. And so I was kind of lucky that my instructor didn't take me to any of the big roundabouts, especially one which said like a motorway, because I don't know, like I'm a calm rider, especially like when I'm by myself, but you know, during the day and stuff, nerves and you know. But to be honest, I didn't even feel nervous or anything like when I was doing the test, so you probably won't as well, like don't worry about it. But anyways, that's it for this video. Hopefully helped some of you out and shared a interesting story with you about my Mod 2 and how I'm an idiot. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.